I was sharing earlier that when I go back to, or when I have to share on things that has happened in the past to bring awareness, and because that's part of my role. So part of my role is to expose things, right? And so sometimes it takes me a while to build up the courage to expose it because I have to go back in time and bring it out. And sometimes that brings up emotions, especially because these are people who were close to me, right? People that I love, that I care of, that were meaningful in my life, that play a role in my life, right? And so to expose wickedness and to remain faithful and loyal to my calling and to the Most High God, I have to expose certain things. And so this is not me complaining, but this is just me saying that when I do that, I go back in time, right? And sometimes I'll stay in a fog of the things that came out of my mouth, and then I have to go back and confirm with myself, like, did you say the truth, right? And it lingers. That's what I mean. It lingers. It lingers, and knowing it all to be true, right? And although I've healed from it, it still weights me down, and I'm still working on that per se, right? But today, as I came out of it, as while I was in it, I had to work myself out of it. And so I kept saying to myself, this is the story that was your story before, when you were in bondage to certain things, when you were consumed by certain habits, by certain emotions, by a certain way of thinking. The story was, this happened to me, this was done to me. Even when I would meet people, like, there was a lover that I met once, right? Somebody who I thought was a lover, he ended up being somebody who was sent into my reality to, you know, like one of those handlers that they send in. So when I met this person, after a couple times of interacting, I ended up telling him my whole story of, like, I was abused, this and that, right? That was the story. Um, when I felt comfortable with people, I would go in and tell them, or when I trusted people, I would go in and tell them, yeah, I was abused, I was molested, um, like all of it, and that was my story. And that was what would give me like a sense of, like, yeah, it's okay, I smoke, it's okay, I drink, and really that wasn't really the issue. The issue was my mindset, like the why I was doing it, right? The point being that to come out of it, I had to, one, move my energy, right? I had to, like, I ended up calling on my four archetypes, like my king, the warrior within me, the lover within me, and the magician within me, right? And then I had to say to myself, so what's the new story? What are you going to say to yourself moving forward? And with that, what I did was yes, Papi, hold on. I shifted the perspective of things. And so I took control right in and there, and I said, well, the new story is that I am not what happened to me. Things don't happen to me, things happen for me. So I've changed the way I think, I've changed the relationship to what has happened to me before, right? And now I am co-creating with Source because Source resides inside of me. And so I am the author, the narrator, and the creator of my own book, which makes me the main character. And when I did that, I flipped the script. And you see now I'm like, um excited again, because you could tell, like, when I do these when I start exposing things about these secret societies, cults, covens, and my karmic family and all of that, you could tell, like, so sometimes I look down, and I'm like I really don't want dwell into it, go into it, because I feel like I'm dwelling in the past, but I'm not. It's like part of my calling is to expose it, right? Especially because I have my mind, right? And a lot of the people who have gone through what I've gone through don't make it out. And some who are going through it as I am, even without going through it as I'm going through it, I was looking at pictures and videos, and I'm like, because there's someone that does something similar to what I do who has overcame it, and he posts his pictures and videos of when he was going through it, and he looks fucked up, right? Excuse my language. And I went through it, and there's like a couple of videos that look, like you could tell that my energy is being siphoned and stuff, but nothing like so drastic, right? And the reason for that was that I have 3 children, and I knew what was going on, and I knew that the purpose of all of these attacks was for me to lose my mind. So I made sure that I looked good. Like, I have my hair braided at all times. I have my nails done at all times. I had the makeup happening. Now I don't care. I was making my outside look good, so that, like, because my insides were like messed up, and I knew what was happening there, right? And I needed to uplift. Now it's like I got, like, the insides are radiating on the outside, so me getting the nails and the hair is just a plus. Like, when the energy is off, it's like I've mastered that so much that I'm just like, what is this trying to teach me? Like, including today when I was feeling low, per se, like I was kind of making myself stuck in, like, things that are happening and the things that I'm losing. I had to pull myself out of it and, like, be like, well, you're co-creating with source. You are the author, the narrator, and the main character of this book, of this story. Now, nothing's happening to you, it's happening for you. Look how far you've come. Get your punk ass up. Although I was, like, cooking and cleaning and stuff. It wasn't like I was literally laying down. But that's the point. The point is that we go through things, and sometimes we have to revisit them and go back in time. And it's easy for us to get tricked by the enemy and be consumed by certain things that happen. Which is why it's important that we have tools and change our belief systems and change the way that we see things, right? Because before, those things would affect me because I had a set idea in regards to why it happened and how it happened. But the moment that I changed my relationship to the event of like, now I see those events, those things that happened to me as something that needed to happen, that were meant to happen, because this is going to bring glory to God's kingdom, right? Because due to my suffering, these people that did this to me, right, and then went ahead and, like, are going up against God now. At this point, you're fighting God, my friend. You're seeing that God is real, right? And so God is vindicating and giving justice. And so teaching these people and making them aware that he's real and that he's here. So it was all worth it, right? And so other people who are, as I'm sharing my story, I find other people who are also going through something similar, and they're sharing certain things, and it's like everybody's, like, saying what's happening, but it's individual to each person. So yeah. All right, I got excited, and it went 9 minutes. Oh Lord, I'll be back later.